The air in the dining room was so tense it felt like it could strangle me. I sat at the old oak table we'd chosen together years ago at that ridiculously expensive antique shop. Its surface was scarred and worn, etched with the memory of countless dinners and arguments. My fork hung motionless above a plate of half-eaten pasta, the sauce cooling into a dark red crust under the soft, flickering chandelier light. Across from me, Eliza kept glancing at her phone, her fingers twitching with restraint. She didn't touch it, though. Instead, she forced a smile that looked like it hurt to hold. "I'm pregnant, David. We're going to be parents." Her tone was too bright, too fragile, like glass stretched to its breaking point. My chest tightened. Not from happiness, from fear. Cold, creeping fear. Because 2 years ago, I'd had a vasectomy. The words she'd just spoken seemed to hang in the air, thick and heavy, like smoke that wouldn't clear. I searched her face, desperate to see the woman I'd once fallen for. The one who'd laughed with me under the Santorini sky, whispering forever against my shoulder. Her auburn hair still caught the light in soft waves, but the rest of her looked different, drawn, pale, distant. She sat there, tense, waiting for me to say something. I couldn't. My mind was a storm, every thought a shard of glass. How? Who? Why? The walls felt closer. Even the hum of the refrigerator sounded accusatory. "David," she said, voice cracking like old wood. "Say something." I put my fork down. The sound of it touching the plate was deafening. "That's impossible," I said, my voice steady but shaking somewhere deep inside me. "You know why." Her eyes widened, just slightly, but I saw it. The flicker of fear. "What do you mean?" she whispered, though the lie was already unraveling in her throat. I pushed back from the table, the chair legs scraping the hardwood like a scream. "I had a vasectomy, Eliza. 2 years ago. After we agreed, no children." Each word fell heavy, deliberate, a verdict she couldn't appeal. Her face crumpled, her hands trembling as they drifted to her stomach like she could shield it, or herself, from what was coming. "There has to be a mistake," she said quickly. "Maybe it didn't work. Those things fail sometimes, right?" But the desperation in her voice betrayed her. She knew. The memories came rushing in, the late nights at her office, the vague excuses about clients, the way her phone always stayed face down, the text she'd brush off with nervous laughter. I'd wanted to believe her. I told myself love meant trust, that suspicion was a poison I wouldn't drink. But now the poison was all I could taste. "Let's not do this," I said quietly, though my tone had gone cold. I left the table and walked to my office. Every step sounded heavier than the last. I opened the drawer, pulled out the manila folder, the vasectomy papers I'd kept, just in case. I didn't think I'd ever need them. When I came back, I dropped the folder onto the table. It hit the wood with a soft, final thud, the sound of something breaking beyond repair. Eliza stared at it, tears glistening in her eyes but not falling yet. "David, please," she said, voice trembling. But she didn't touch the folder. She didn't have to. We both knew. "Who is he?" I asked quietly. My throat burned, but the words came out sharp, controlled. She shook her head, the tears finally spilling down her cheeks. "It's not what you think," she murmured. "I love you. I didn't mean for." "Stop," I said, cutting her off, the word like a blade. "Don't lie to me. Not now." The room felt smaller, suffocating. The scent of her jasmine perfume hung in the air, the same one she'd worn on our wedding day. Now it only reminded me of everything we'd lost. My stomach twisted, a sick weight settling deep inside me. I wanted so badly to believe her, to hold on to the life we'd built together. But the truth sat between us like a wound that wouldn't close. Every word she spoke drove the knife deeper. Her sobs broke the stillness, raw, trembling sounds that filled the room with a pain I couldn't reach. "It was a mistake," she whispered, voice cracking. "Just one night, David. One stupid night. I was lonely and you were always working. I didn't mean for any of this to happen." Lonely. The word struck me harder than I expected. I thought of the endless late nights at the firm, the hours I'd traded for promotions and paychecks, all to give her the house, the trips, the security she dreamed of. I thought I was doing it for us. I thought it was enough. But her confession told another story. One where I was just the ghost of a husband, gone even when I was home. Who is he? I asked quietly, my voice steadier than I felt. I needed something. His name, his face, something to make this betrayal tangible. She turned away, her eyes fixed on the dark window, the streetlight casting faint lines across her face. It doesn't matter, she said softly. It's over. It meant nothing. I laughed then, a bitter, broken sound that didn't feel like my own. Nothing. I said. You're pregnant with his child, Elise. That's not nothing. Her body tensed, her hands pressing protectively against her stomach. Guilt flashed in her eyes, but beneath it was something else, something hard, almost defiant. I didn't want this, she cried. I wanted you. I wanted us. But you were never really here, David. Even when you were home, your mind was somewhere else. The words cut deep, but they didn't erase what she'd done. I wanted to hate her, to let rage burn away whatever love remained, but love isn't that simple. It lingers, stubborn and cruel. I sank into the chair, my body heavy with everything we'd lost. What now? I asked quietly, though I wasn't sure who I was asking. The life we'd imagined, children, vacations, growing old together, was gone. In its place was a hollow space I didn't know how to fill. Elise wiped her face and straightened, her voice suddenly calm, resolved. I'll leave, she said. I'll stay with my sister. You won't have to see me again. The words should have brought relief, but they only hollowed me out further. I wanted to tell her to stay, to try to fix what was broken, but the strength to do so was gone. As she reached for her things, her phone buzzed on the table. The screen lit up, Mark. My heart stopped. She froze, eyes flicking from the phone to me, and in that instant I knew. Mark, her coworker. The late meetings, the client dinners. It was him. She snatched the phone and left. The door closed with a soft click that felt louder than any slam. I sat there in the silence, staring at the vasectomy record on the table, a cruel reminder of everything I'd believed in. The house was still, but her betrayal clung to the air, a ghost that would haunt me long after she was gone.